Top of the morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Posttopostpod. With me, as always, is my co-host, Chris Ronan. I felt like I did something wrong there.
That was all right. That was decent.
Is that cultural appropriation for me?
Oh, God, dude. You going to get into that?
Yeah.
Starting off early?
Starting off early.
Are you doing anything for St. Patrick's Day next week?
No.
Nothing?
Boston, we have the St. Patty's Day parade, and that is going to be a shit show.
Yeah, it's the first one in like 3 years now because of COVID, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, 2021 and 2022 both got canceled, so it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be wild. I'm not going to that.
Nope.
That's amateur hour. But Thursday, I actually just started doing a pickup skate with the Stinky Socks guys that I like. I signed up for the Boston's Best tournament that you've brought up before on the show. Mm-hmm. So I'll be doing that the second weekend of April. And I think I do want to keep skating with the guys on Thursday and, getting a nice rhythm with those guys.
That's awesome.
But they like to go over to Dorset Hall, which is right around the corner from the Dorchester rink, and we had quite a few Guinnesses last night. It was nice, and I think I'm going to do the same thing next week as long as the skate's still on. Love Guinness, man. So good. I'm drinking Guinness tonight. I'm wearing my Guinness jersey, boys. Like, that's what's up.
Just ready to go. You're Guinness out.
Yeah.
I like Guinness on tap.
Same thing. Tastes exactly the same out of the can.
You think so?
100%. The bottle, maybe not, but the can, oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Smash it, dude. It's so good.
Everyone's different. Well, I was gonna say you texted me. He goes, "Dude, you're doing Boston Best tournament," and I'm like, "I'm trying. I don't have a team yet. I've been wanting to go." There's a few guys on my team that are interested, but they're on the fence too. And I'm like, "Well, it's different as a goalie. I can easily contact Sticky Socks and be like, I'm a free agent goalie."
Yeah, you should see. There might be a team that needs one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like. If are you around on the weekend for me? Like, if I can't get a babysitter for Emma, maybe you can come and cover one of my skates for the guys.
Oh, maybe.
The tourney. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Cool.
It is what it is. But let's dive into it here. We have a few signings, and we have a player that we've been wanting to talk about. And I guess we'll start off with the signings first. We have Kraken signed Jared McCann to a 5-year extension with $25 million, which is $5 million AAV. McCann has 22 goals and 12 assists in 52 games playing with the Kraken this season. We have the Maple Leafs signing Kyle Clifford to a 2-year extension with $1.5 million, which is $762 AAV. He's got 2 assists in 10 games so far. And then, lastly, we have the Flyers signing Rasmus Ristolainen to a 5-year contract with $25.5 million, which is $5.1 AAV. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 50 games played this season. Biggest weird thing for me here is the Kyle Clifford signing. He's only played 10 games so far. This is his first season, by the way, with the Maple Leafs, and he's only got 2 assists in the 10 games he's played so far. I don't know. It feels like weird to me to give him an extension.
Well, he's not that kind of guy. You're not looking at Kyle Clifford to be putting the puck in the back of the net. He's the kind of guy that'll beat the brakes off you. I remember when he was on the LA Kings, he was, taking care of business. 80 games in 2014-15 season. He's only put up 15 points, Yeah. 87 penalty minutes. So, that's where he's really making a mark. He's there to protect your big guys, and I mean they have Wayne Simmons, but he's getting up in age. So a 2-year extension for him is a good sign. I think that'll take care of the Maple Leafs going forward for at least the next couple of years. But yeah, that guy's a tough SOB. That guy will beat the brakes off of you and me. Mm-hmm. But the one I wanted to jump back to is Jared McCann really stepping his game up this season with the Seattle Kraken. I'm just pulling up the line combinations for them too. He is actually playing on the. He's not. I'm on the St. Louis Blues. That's why. Anyways,
he's playing for the Kraken.
He's got 34 points this season. Last season he had 32, but he's really putting the puck in the back of net this time around. 14 goals the last 2 seasons. This year he's got 22 goals. So, yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the Seattle Kraken page here to see where he's playing, who he's line mates with.
Did Kraken ever fix their website? We've stopped using team websites for the NHL, especially because they do not update stats. Like, if you want to look up stats, HockeyDB, sometimes Hockey Reference, but never go to an NHL. They just never do it. They never do it. And when the Kraken first came out as a team, when the season just started, I was on there just to look at, rosters and everything, and it wasn't, up to date. It was, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked back on the NHL websites. I don't usually use those. Yeah. I'm big on HockeyDB and big on Daily Faceoff, but the site gets a little slow here, so I'm gonna keep digging for a little bit here.
Okay. Want to jump back while I hop into the next subject we got? All right, so we want to talk about him for a while, and a buddy of ours, Alex, who listens in, asked us to talk about him. I'm like, you know what? This week's going to be the week we talk about him. And it's Jason Robertson. He scored his first career hat trick versus Winnipeg in OT for a 4-3 win. That goal was his 97th point in his 100th career game. Then he got back-to-back hat tricks after playing Minnesota Wild a few days later and scored another one. Becomes the first Dallas Star player to record back-to-back hat tricks. It was also his 100th NHL point in 101 NHL games played. He gained first star of the week with the 7 goals, 2 hat tricks in the 3 games played for the week. In 48 games played this season, Robertson has 29 goals, 25 assists, and 54 points so far. He leads the team in goals, tied for second in assists, next to Miro Heiskanen, and is second in points. Joe Pavelski leads with 37 assists and 59 points, but has also played 8 more games than Robertson this season. Pavelski, jump right into that, just signed a 1-year contract extension worth $5.5 million. Jason Robertson, hot trophy candidate?
Yeah, I think so. I think point production wise, I think there's a lot of better options around the league when it comes to the heart, but he definitely is, the MVP for the Dallas Stars locker room, you know what I mean?
Right.
So just what they're getting out of him is insane. He's only played 3 games in 2020, and he played half a season last year, 51 games. Actually, last year was the shortened season, right?
Shortened season, yeah.
So he played the entire season last season, ended up with 45 points, and this year he's got 54. So he's on pace, and I hear this guy is just a sponge. He's just like soaking it all in, learning from these veteran leaders with like Jamie Benn and Joe Pavelski, Radulov, Sagan, all those guys.
Right.
Like the Stars are like sneaky good. They're one of those teams that I think like could get in and upset if they can end up making it in time,
Right.
Because that division is insane right now.
Jason Robertson's just solid. If you actually go to his hockey DB and look at like the teams he's played for, it's like handful. That's it. And then you look at the stats that he's played for, and I don't know. Are you on him right now? There's a team that he played for ECHL or something like that, where it was like 45 games played, and he had like just that amount in goals and like assists. What's the team's name, dude?
Yeah, he's in the OHL in 2016-17 for the Frontenacs in Kingston.
Yep.
But he was young then. He's a 99 born, so that's like 18 years old on the dot. 81 points in 68 games. That's like huge. That's big.
Massive. So this guy is like just bred and like ready for the NHL, and we're definitely seeing it here. I think he's making a splash now for the people who really pay attention to the NHL, especially Dallas Stars fans. He's making a splash, but also kind of hidden, I guess.
Yeah.
Like when Connor McDavid was having a splash in Edmonton, everyone knew about it. Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby and his Jason Robertson just letting him do his thing, and he's getting it done.
100%.
100%. So be on the lookout for Jason Robertson. Again, Joe Pavelski's leading the team right now, but he's also played 8 games more than him so far this season. So be on the lookout for him to catch up to that, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, the other aspect that might dip into his point production is Miro Heiskanen diagnosed with mononucleosis too. So just another quick touch up on Dallas. But jumping back to Seattle, McCann's actually centering the second line with Marcus Johansson and Jordan Eberle. These guys are putting up numbers, but their plus minus is atrocious, dude. Dash 23 for Johansson and dash 22 for Jared McCann. Jordan Eberle, like, he's really stepped it up, though. 34 points for Jared McCann and 34 points for Jordan Eberle for point production. So definitely cool to see. 21 for Johansson, so it's really running through Eberle and McCann, I think. So just thought I'd touch up on that real quick.
Another touch-up that we have, touching up, I guess. We have the Hurricanes. We have Svechnikov. He was filmed practicing on ice an hour after his game ended, where he scored the OT game winner. And that's what you call elite.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, too. I think that might have been after a back-to-back, too. I think they played the night before as well. But this guy's going to be the next Jaromir Jagr, the way he's putting in the time, getting on the ice, and just not getting off,
I didn't realize he'd go back on the ice, though. Like, I thought there was like a bus. They're just like, hey, you got to be on the bus at a certain time.
Yeah, it depends. Like if there's if the game ended at 10 o'clock at night, like, and they're not flying out right away, they have the day off tomorrow. Maybe the flight's tomorrow, and they can go out and use the practice rink if they want to. It's funny to see him out there in shorts too. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and just kind of repping it.
Yeah.
It was just like I'm watching him, and he makes it seem like so easy, but at the same time, player and goalie for the NHL. I was just thinking like how dead I would be at the end of a game. Where like the thought of an hour after getting off that ice, I would go back out there and just practice.
And our game's only an hour. Their game's 3 hours.
Like
you know
3
what I mean?
hours.
That's
yeah.
crazy, right?
Just insane. Just insane.
And it looks so casual what he's doing, but he's really honing in, working on his shot. Like he's not really doing edge work stuff there, but all day long and practicing during the games, he's focusing on the
right.
skating, the footwork, and that's kind of just like a casual, like, clear my head. It's probably like wow, that was like, a way for him to like live the moment a little bit after scoring that OT winner and get out there and be like, wow, that was awesome,
Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's sick. It's that type of stuff where you really see. We talked about the steps and difference you've seen between like NHL and AHL guys. Now you're in the NHL, you're in the top. Now you're seeing difference between just players in that league. Like Svechnikov is like a step above like a bunch of other guys,
Yeah, 100%. And that's what'll maintain that gap for him too, is him putting in the extra hours, the extra time, and honing in on his craft.
Mm-hmm. More Carolina news. Dad tweets at Ian Cole about daughter's teeth. A dad on Twitter under the name Moose A Million tweeted to Hurricanes Ian Cole saying, "My daughter lost her front tooth today and was freaking out because she has autism and can't handle change." He then stated, to help her calm down, he showed her a picture of Ian Cole missing teeth, and it worked that she loves showing off her missing tooth now. Ian Cole responded, "I love the look. Obviously, all the cool kids are doing it now. She looks tough as nails," and then went on to have her set up with a jersey and thanked her father for reaching out. I love that tweet. I love how he was just like, "Yeah, Ian Cole, I'm going to use your toothless face and help my daughter out." Yep.
Yeah. It's funny
cool.
that she, put two and two together there and connected and, felt a little more acceptable of it when a grown man in the NHL is walking around like that. You know what
toothless,
I mean? Yeah. Wild to me. But like, I don't know. If I were in the NHL and I'm missing teeth, like, I don't know if I would pay to get them done until I was like, my career's done, because
you're gonna get them done and get knocked out again. Yeah, exactly.
Anything can happen to me, and the way the pucks ride up sticks and deflections and all that stuff.
It's not even pucks either. It's like sticks too. A stick can come up in your face. Anything.
Yeah. I almost lost my 2 front teeth in high school from a hockey stick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was skating, playing around on a pond.
Oof.
My buddy went to backhand it, and I was like chasing behind him to play defense, trying to get a stick lift. And the way he backhanded, he like followed through with it, and just like it was nuts. Honestly, like my mouth was open the way that I was like chasing him down, breathing, and I got literally like the toe of the blade just doink right on the 2 teeth. And blood everywhere. It was terrible. I was like, Jesus. Thought I was losing them. Yeah.
Brutal. I'm going to hop on to Arizona news here. I think I have maybe more on this here. So the Arizona versus Senators. Arizona won 8-5, and the Coyotes owe Nick Schmaltz a nice steak dinner. He carried that team with 7 points that game, 2 goals and 5 assists. Those 7 points were the most in franchise history, most by an NHLer this season, and hasn't happened since February 12th of 2012 when Edmonton's Sam Gagner put up 8 points in a single game. A story like this is probably going to be, we're going to have I want to say like another handful of these throughout this episode here, but wow, Nick Schmaltz, it's like a random stat that you're just like, oh, I didn't realize that didn't happen like for as many years as it was. That's 10 years ago now I'm thinking about it. Not nuts.
Yeah, to put up 8 points in a game. That is a lot, though. And I think, honestly, like, the way the league's going, it seems like 5-3 is, like, the new NHL score. Like, where, like, 3-2 and like, 4-2 used to be it. Like, I think 5-3 is becoming, like, the new average, like, 8 goals per game.
Yeah.
A lot of these games are high scoring, and, I think, like, in the future, you're going to see a lot more of these records get snapped. But 7 points in one night, hats off to you. That's nuts. A lot of assists, too. 5 assists. I wonder how many of them were primary and how many were secondary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Staying on that, though, Kessel in Arizona, did you see that news about his baby?
Oh, yeah.
So Kessel actually had to leave after his first shift. It was Arizona at Detroit, and he had to fly back to Arizona to be there for the birth of his first child, Capri Mary Kessel. And congrats to him, obviously. But that's nuts. Just so he can maintain the Ironman streak, he makes sure to fly to Detroit, play a shift, fist bump all the boys, and then fucking get out of there.
out of here.
And then that same night, they ended up scoring 9 goals, which was the most in franchise history. As you mentioned, they put up 8 the night before, and 17 goals in 2 games. Fucking crazy. That's a lot of goals.
Just nuts.
Wicked funny, too. Biz commented on it and said from the top rope, spread them out a bit, boys, you know? Not looking so hot on the records, but putting up a ton of goals.
I did a bit of a deep dive on this. So what I want to say to Phil Kessel especially is to make the story even crazier. Back in 2006, at the age of 19 and about to start his NHL career with the Boston Bruins after going 5th overall in the draft, Kessel found out he had testicular cancer after finding a lump on one of his testicles. The cancer was found early, and the surgery to remove it was a success, where he only missed 11 games before returning to the NHL. Ever since, Phil has been an advocate for the cancer awareness, and in 2018, the Prevent Cancer Foundation awarded him with the Excellence in Cancer Awareness Award. Testicular cancer is the most common cancer in men's ages 15 to 35, but when detected and treated early, it's usually curable. Congrats to Phil and his wife on the baby. That was awesome to see. Yeah, as soon as I saw this post and I was doing the notes, I was like, that's right, Boston Bruins, man. Like, he had, like, the whole testicular cancer and everything. Like, that's massive that he has a baby now, you know?
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like, if it did get, like, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's just like, if he didn't catch it right away, like, there was a chance that, like, he would have never had a baby with his wife, you know? Think about
Wow.
that.
So what year did you say that was? Was that 07 or 09?
What did I have it on my notes here? That was 06.
06. Wow. Okay.
19. Yeah, he
So
was 19 years old.
He ended up missing games again after that because his Ironman streak started in 09. Because I was going to say that would be nuts if, like, those 70 games, that would put him ahead of the other guys, you know? And that's, since his Ironman streak started in 09, he did play in the AHL in 07. And, like, this doesn't give me exact dates for when he was down, but, like, that's another, let's call it 150 games that he could add on to that Ironman streak. He could be the guy leading the league if it wasn't for the time that he missed.
That's fucking
You know what I mean?
nuts.
Yeah. I don't think the time that he missed was due to this testicular cancer that separated his Ironman streak, but I'm just saying in general, like, that's crazy. He could be the Ironman leader.
That's crazy
Right?
to think about.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No wonder he doesn't want to miss another game, you know?
Right, he's like, no, I'm going to keep this going.
For real.
Unbelievable. You want to do this for us? Move on to Detroit here.
Yeah, so the stats we just told you about were Arizona at Detroit. And then same week, actually, Detroit tweeted out a nice tweet to their player Danny DeKaiser and said happy birthday to him. And same day, they told him enjoy waivers, bud. Savagery, dude. It's just like a disconnect between where the team is going and the PR team. You know what I mean? PR team is probably just like, it's his birthday, we're just going to tweet out happy birthday.
Right.
Regardless. They don't even think about, like, what's going on. And then, like, the team's like, yeah, we're done with that guy, actually. So we can untweet that. That'd be great. Just thought that was a funny
Why are we
little side
seeing
note.
this more and more? I feel like every week we have some kind of bullshit news about, like, a player finding out that he was on waivers through, like, a tweet. You know?
Well, he didn't necessarily find out that way, but it was just ironic that the same day they were like, happy birthday, and then see ya, you know?
Happy birthday, see you later.
Another cool little note, too. Edmonton at Chicago. This was funny to see 2 old teammates from the Chicago dynasty going at it. There was a ceremonial puck drop in Chicago, and Duncan Keith and Jonathan Toews are doing the ceremonial face-off, and then they start jawing at each other and, like, really bumping each other trying to win the puck. I thought it was funny to see.
Can I go back to when you said Chicago Dynasty? So the last episode we posted, we were talking about how many Stanley Cups the Chicago Blackhawks have won. And I did not really specify what the hell we were talking about because I talked about 2010 and after that. Like, I was talking about, like, all the Stanley Cups, like, the Chicago Blackhawks won as a franchise. We were talking about just 2010 and after that. Because we got a few comments after that. They were just like, dude, you guys have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you didn't. You completely shot me down.
Which you're right. But
Yeah.
It's just like, I wasn't talking about, like, every Stanley Cup the Chicago Blackhawks won. It was just 2010 and after.
Yeah, and you completely shot it down. You said, no, they didn't get 3.
Right.
And they did.
And they did.
So that's the dynasty I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the dynasty of the entire organization. I'm talking about after 2010 as well.
Right. I'm just saying people are just like, dude, they won way more than fucking what you think 3 Stanley Cups. I'm like, Yeah, but I'm talking about 2010 and after.
Yeah. I was talking about that core group, but yeah, those two guys were a big part
dusted.
of it. Yeah, as we should.
Yep.
As we should. Montreal here too, 7-5-0 under Marty St. Louis as the new head coach, so that's really good to see. Cole Caulfield really stepping his game out, feeling himself a bit, putting up some point production. You got anything on that?
Makes me want to go back to Bruce Boudreau, see what he's doing with Vancouver. I didn't really look that up, but after you said that, I was like, kind of want to go back and see how the big Caboose Bruce is doing.
Yeah, in their last 10, they're 8-2-0. They're on a 3-game win streak. They are still technically outside of the playoffs. They have 64 points. They could chase down the Oilers, but I mean, the way that they're doing the playoffs this year, for the listeners that don't know, they're doing the top 3 teams from each division, and then across the conference, the next 2 best teams with points. So right now, the Avs, Blues, and Wild are all in. The Predators and Stars have 70 and 67 points. And then in the Pacific, the Flames, Knights, and Kings are all in. And that would put the Predators and Stars into the playoffs. So it would be 5 teams from the Central and only 3 teams from the Pacific. And they would just do them like 1 through 8 is how they would play each other, I think. But I thought that was very interesting to see. Yeah. So the Oilers and Canucks are both on the outside looking in right now, looking at competing with the Predators and the Stars. But I think there's a chance, there's possibility they're catching up, but they may have dug themselves too deep of a hole at the beginning of the season, dropping those games in Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on to Rangers news, we have Igor Shesterkin. Currently has the second highest single season save percentage in NHL history. Not even franchise, just history altogether, with a .942 save percentage, only behind Jacques Plante, who had a .944 in 1970-1971. To give an idea of where Shesterkin is at, Carey Price was given the Hart Trophy back in 2015 for putting up a 1.96 GAA and a .933 save percentage. And Shesterkin currently has a 1.93 GAA and .942 save percentage. Possible Vezina and Hart candidate. He's currently 4th in wins with a 28-6-3 record. Shesterkin's been absolutely on fire this season.
2 teams we just don't cover enough, man. The Hurricanes and the Rangers. Mm-hmm. Those 2 teams are like so hot, and we just haven't really talked about them. I feel like the Rangers came out of nowhere. I think they were like, at the beginning of the season, kind of on the outside looking in. We were like, damn, this is going to be a tough rebuild for the Rangers. But the young guns have stepped up. Keandre Miller's looking really good there. Reeves is fitting in well. And Artemi Panarin's stepping up big time. And then the Hurricanes, man, they're obviously a wagon, but I didn't realize how far ahead they are. They got 6 points on the next closest team, which is the Pittsburgh Penguins. So same amount of points as the Florida Panthers. So they kept their foot on the gas from the beginning of the season when they were both on the what was it? Not a winless streak. Unbeaten in regulation streak. Yep. That's what it was, yeah. So, very, very cool to see. I did not expect the Rangers to be in the playoffs, personally. Good for Shesterkin.
I'm glad they
Put
are,
the team on his back. He's going to be the next Henrik Lundqvist and do nothing with his career, but have, like, crazy good numbers.
Hank came close.
Close? Doesn't count.
Until Martinez.
Close does not count.
Close does not count.
But it gets you a sick guitar.
Sick guitar and pads. I'll give him that. I don't know. Poor guy. You can only do so much. He's not scoring.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. You could be the best goalie in the world, put up a 0 goal, let up 0 goals, shut them all out, but you can't win the game that way.
Win the game. I'm trying to think who would. Monty Bordeaux could probably do it.
What?
Give me the puck. I'll fucking.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do this next? Oh, is this Cale Makar? That's right. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm looking for too. I have this in my notes somewhere, and here we go.
That's why we type them up.
This is why we type them up. But here we go. This is not how tonight went. But we're gonna jump into Avalanche. Cale Makar is currently the best offensive defenseman in NHL history. He recorded 159 points in his first 155 games, which is the most ever by a defenseman in NHL history, and is currently at an 82-game pace of 32 goals, 67 assists, and 99 points for this season. He is another player on fire that I feel like we maybe talked about a handful of times so far this season, but he's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that came into the league and really changed the game for an offensive defenseman. Like, you see, I was talking to a couple of guys at either at hockey or at work. I've just been talking a lot this week with hockey news, and the hands, the skill set, the footwork, everything about this player screams forward. But he's a defenseman, and he can lock it down and still, be reliable and responsible in his role.
Right.
The other person I put in the same category as him, it's obviously a tier below, is Adam Fox. Like, you see the shiftiness on the blue line, the deception with, opening the hips up and showing left and then cutting back and going right, moving the edges. Just Cale Makar and Adam Fox are two guys that are going to change the way that people look at defensemen. I think that the first role to go was the fighting role, where now you can still fight in the league, but you need to be able to play and be, a responsible, good hockey player.
Right.
And the next position to turn into that is going to be defenseman. It's great that you can shut it down and make sure that they're not getting by you, but what are you doing offensively when we're in the zone kind of thing? So it's gonna be cool to see the skill gap change on defensemen as well. And also just in general, the stuff that kids are learning at such a young age now, they're just learning the game differently and just so much more focus on everything. You need to have every tool in your toolbox to make it to the NHL.
Right.
It can't just be, you can't be a specialist and do one thing.
It's insane. You see like these 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids just like pulling the Michigan like it's nothing. You're just like, these kids are just learning so quick, and you're gonna like this next generation is just it's gonna be insane.
Another thing I brought up too was I think that hitting is not allowed in youth hockey until you're about like 11 or 13, something like that.
I think it's something like that.
So now these kids are going to be learning to play basically the way that we play in men's league, where like you can do all these dipsy dangles and not have to worry about keeping your head up and getting creamed. And I think in general in the NHL, there aren't as many of those huge, massive collisions now, but you do see a lot of incidental contact, and they're moving so fast that they end up looking like that. So I think down the line, it's going to affect these kids where I'm not used to getting hit. I'm used to playing not necessarily with my head down entirely, but with the mindset that I can do certain things that I won't be able to do once hitting gets involved. And that's where it's going to separate, at a certain point, the men from the boys, quite literally, right? So
100%. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
Future of the game. But moving right along, I had some notes on the Calgary and Colorado game the other night. So this is Calgary at Colorado, Lucic versus McDermott. This fight was awesome. Two heavyweights in Lucic and McDermott. And obviously Lucic has been around the league quite a bit longer, but this guy just has no fear. It doesn't matter that he's the older guy in the league. He still holds his own. And just the amount of strategy that went into this fight was insane. The way that they're grabbing each other and set up, Lucic has his left arm up and like grabbing him on the shoulder to block and separate himself from McDermott and get some space. And McDermott is just like timing it right, where he's chopping at that left arm to get it to drop and then sending bombs in with the opposite arm. It's just like, you never think about the strategy and stuff that goes into it. You see guys going at it and they're just like wailing away at each other. But like this was a very like, a mental battle. A lot of jersey jabs, shaking off the elbow pads, and just the balance it takes for those guys to fight like that. I think it was like a 50-second fight. And it just seemed like those guys would be so gassed at the end of it.
I feel like you gotta be. I talked about this like way earlier in our podcast that when Sean Thornton left the Bruins, there was a meet and greet with him, and I got to see him and shake his hand. And when I shook his hand, it was like shaking a boulder, like a rock.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine getting hit in the face with his hand, like with his. I could like as soon as I shook his hand, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like it was like mind-boggling. So like for like what you said about here with Lucic McDermott strategy, like I feel like there needs to be some sort of strategy so you don't like absolutely get knocked the fuck out on the ice,
Yeah.
and get like concussed or something. So there's got to be something to like be like, all right, I could take a few hair, but I can't take any more.
Yeah, I think another interesting thing about like the size of Thornton's hand, I'd like to see like an X-ray of like an ex-NHL player and just see like what the inside of that hand looks like. Is it just like sand? Like, are his bones just like crunched up? You know what I mean? Like he probably has so much like not necessarily carpal tunnel issues, but just like I don't know, just wrist pain, like finger pain, just joints, everything. Just the abuse that they put on those hands.
I like every time I see a hockey fight too. I like. They never really take off their helmets, and you see like these blows to like a hockey helmet, and you're like, God, that's gonna fucking hurt.
Did you ever see the video of the guy that's he's giving out like fake beer league advice, and he's like, yeah, you gotta get the pliers here, bud. grab the part of the helmet right here and just fucking twist. You gotta like really cut the thing up so when he's beaning you, it just scrapes his hand up real bad and like stabs him. Like, dude, that's so messed up. Such a good strategy though, dude.
Such a solid move.
There were like 3 or 4 other ones, but that's the one that stuck out to me. I was like, Jesus, dude.
Just like the sunglasses underneath the cage.
Oh yeah, that was great. That's gonna be me
gonna
next
be
week.
next move.
100%. You're gonna see me like Green Machine out in Minnesota. What's up, you fucking dusters? That guy's great. His videos are awesome.
Randomly found him, and it's just been
Wheeling around
so
with
good.
hockey tape.
Yep. Moving on from that, too, we have the LA Kings. The teammate surprised Drew Doughty with a sea-doo at practice for his 1,000th game. How do they get it on the ice?
You know, like where the Zamboni comes in, you can fit a Sea-Doo out that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of work. And then you got to surprise them on the ice with a sea-doo. And then the team sit there and be like, that's cool for like 5-10 minutes. And they're just like, all right, we're going to get this thing off the ice.
Yeah, it was funny. Did you see how I zoomed in on Doughty? Like the look on his face when they took the picture. He was like, geez, thanks. Another depreciating asset. Just what I wanted.
Don't get me wrong. I think a wave run is fun as shit. But at the same time, just like the way they did it, I'm like, all right, this is a lot of work.
It's great in like the LA market though. Like LA, Tampa's huge on like the jet skis.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty cool place to see it. It'd be hilarious to see surprising a guy up in like, I don't know, Edmonton with like a jet ski or like Calgary. Out in Calgary. Hey, we got you a jet ski, bud. Great. There's not an ocean for like 800 miles, but appreciate it.
Phil Kessel's going to get the Ironman straight. They're going to surprise him with a sea-doo. Be like, thanks.
They're going to get him
in the middle of a fucking desert right
They're going to
now.
get him a silver-plated hot dog. You know, the silver shin pads with the guy that blocked all the shots. You're going to get a silver hot dog, bud.
It was like HBO. Was it HBO? It was something. It was Phil Kessel when he was part of the Penguins, and he was talking to. They were interviewing someone from the Penguins. I can't remember who for the life of me, but here comes Phil just like in the background. And he looks back, goes, "Phil, what do you eat?" He goes, "A chocolate bar." And he goes, "Yeah, I figured."
Yeah. He does eat a lot of junk food, I hear, but like the hot dog thing is so unsubstantiated. But Phil just doesn't engage with any of the media and like does not care. It's like people want to talk shit, that's fine. I don't care. But I think the funniest part of it is just the fact that he almost looks like an everyday average guy. Like he doesn't look fit and cut up like all the other NHL players that are like,
and
you
is
know,
a legend.
Yeah, but he's nasty, dude.
But he's
It
nasty.
works. Like it's like the Dr. Pepper on the bench, dude. It's just like it's an anomaly. It's a one and done.
Phil's a special breed.
Yeah.
We don't give him enough credit for what he can do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the market that he's in right now is tough, but I think he got plenty of credit with Pittsburgh, and then I think he got kind of flamed in Toronto, but I think he still did really well in Toronto as well. You know?
Yep. That's funny. Every time we talk about Phil Kessel and hot dogs, I always think of Whitest Kids You Know. We were just like Timmy and the hot dogs. He goes, how many hot dogs did you have today? Yeah, if anyone's a Whitest Kids You Know fan, you know what I'm talking about. So funny. I feel like there's not a lot of Whitest Kids You Know fans around.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Talk about it, you're like, what's that? I'm like, how do you not know one of the best shows? So many good skits that they didn't know how to finish. But let's move on to bad news, I guess. So the Seattle Kraken has the worst goaltending in 25 years with a combined .875 save percentage. The 1995-96 Sharks were the most recent with a .869. Jagr and Grubauer are the fourth highest paid goalie tandem in the league, taking up $9.4 million combined. Grubauer currently has a 3.22 GAA and .887 save percentage in 43 games played. Jagr has a 3.37 GAA and .886 save percentage in 18 games played. Jagr coming from 2 years with the Panthers, averaging out a 2.05 GAA and a .932 save percentage. And Grubauer coming from the Avalanche with his best season in the NHL statistically, with a 1.95 GAA and a .922 save percentage, tying the league lead with 7 shutouts and a Vezina Canada finalist. What's going on?
Yeah, I think it's just growing pains. You know, you have a brand new team, brand new organization. You're getting used to all the guys, and just two of the best goalies in the league last season. Like, we were like, this is going to be an elite tandem. This is going to be awesome. But I don't know. Defensively, I think it's not there. Trade deadline coming up. Are you ready to hear what I have in mind to make a trade for the Boston Bruins?
I'm interested now.
So
You never talk Bruins.
I personally, all right, before we get into that, I got a Harpoon's hometown hat trick here. Charlie Coyle, Matt Grzelcyk, and Chris Wagner, all local guys. So I thought it was a pretty cool can. I picked one up, thought it was nice, so add that in too. Grubauer and Driedger, personally, I hope that they stay in Seattle, and I think that the team needs to take time and develop and get used to each other. One name that has been brought up a lot on the trade block is Giordano on defense. Bruins could definitely use a nice veteran presence on defense, good for some depth, good for a cup run, and lock him down for a couple years. Mm-hmm. On the Bruins end, Jake DeBrusk is on the trade block. He's on the first line right now, really putting up some good numbers. People are looking to see him move. Mm-hmm. So I say we're going to pack either Grubauer or Driedger, take your pick, doesn't matter to me, and Giordano, and we're going to send out DeBrusk and Omar. And get off of that Omar
They
contract.
would fucking never take that.
Why not? Well, I mean, chuck a pick in, even it out however you need to, but.
Oh, now statistically?
Yeah. Because they can get out from under a big contract in Grubauer's numbers, and Driedger's making decent money too. And they're not performing, so why not try something new in net? Know what I mean? And that's forward addition in Jake DeBrusk that can show that he can produce when he's on a top line with like a Jordan Eberle or Jared McCann, and then Mark Giordano to show up the defense on the Bruins.
I like where your head's at. I think I'd rather Grubauer than Driedger.
Yeah, obviously. I think I would too, but both of them kind of suck.
Right now.
Right.
Ooh.
It's a cool little trade package.
Ooh.
We'll see. I'm hoping that they do some kind of big move for the Bruins at the deadline.
At NHL.
Yeah, tag them at Boston Bruins.
At Boston Bruins at NHL. I'm gonna clip this, put it on Instagram.
All right, cool.
Let's see it. Tag them all up and be like, all right, listen. And if it works, we're gonna get hired.
Yeah. Trade specialist, trade analyst.
Specialist.
We're gonna be mediators. You know what I mean? We don't work for the team. We don't work for players. We're just set it up.
Mediators.
We're idea guys.
I have an idea.
Check this one out. Austin Matthews to the desert for 19 first-round picks. You get my first-round picks from 2022 all the way until 2032 or 2042, I should say.
This guy's so good at his job. I don't know how he
damn,
did
why
it.
didn't I think of that?
Oh my God, 19 first-round picks. I don't know. I love how you brought that up because I showed you the Arizona Coyotes fan with a Matthews jersey, Arizona jersey, and I'm like, why? And
He's from Arizona, dude. I told you. That's why.
And I was like, but why?
What do you mean, why? He's from Arizona.
But why?
Oh, my God. I'm not doing this with you.
It was like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's like me wearing like a Bruins jersey, a custom Bruins jersey with like, I don't know, like Jonathan Tavares.
He's not from here.
Or Keith Yandel.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. I don't think that's.
If it was a possible landing spot for him, like it's been talked about Matthews returning home and going to Arizona. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, a Yandel Bruins jersey would be kind of cool. He did play around here. His jersey's up around here.
Everyone's different, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that guy's last name is Matthews. It's a pretty common last name. The guy that's wearing the jersey, right?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
He also just happened to pick the number 34.
I don't know. I'm at a loss of words for that.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't know.
You got some notes for Jack Eichel's return to Buffalo?
Yeah.
Perfect. You go ahead.
Throwing curveballs into this. Jack Eichel returned to Buffalo with a not-so-warm welcome. Signs like thanks for nothing Eichel with a nice poop emoji were brought to the arena.
I saw one sign said eat shit and die.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Eichel was asked about the crowd, and he said, "That's the loudest I've heard this place ever. It only took 7 years and me leaving for them to get into it." Which I was like, okay, all right, little pushback.
Yep.
Pushback. To add to the crowd question, in response from Eichel, the Buffalo Sabres have a 45.4% attendance rate this season. The next lowest attendance rate they had was in 2019-2020 season with 90.7%.
That's terrible.
To put that in numbers, in 2019-20 season, the Sabres had an average of 17,167 fans in attendance. And this season, the average is 8,823.
That's brutal. I wonder if COVID has a part to do with it, too, where people are, like, not willing to go to the games, really, kind of? That could be part of it.
Could be part of it.
I doubt it.
For this game, they had 12,437 fans in attendance for the Sabres' 3-1 win over Vegas. The Sabres are currently 7th in the Atlantic and 29th overall in the league. That might be a part of it.
Yeah, 100%. One fan had a sign, too, that said, "Hey, Jack, we tried." And, like, I didn't really... I didn't really get that sign. Like, no, Buffalo, you didn't try.
try.
The
No,
ownership
try.
said, no, you can't take the surgery you want. Like, That's it. You know what I mean?
I didn't like the fans, just like their reactions and stuff. But just like Eichel liked playing there.
Yeah.
He just wanted the surgery that he knew he needed.
I also think that I think he did like playing there, right? But using the surgery as a reason to get out of Buffalo is also a great move. Like the second that they're like, you can't have the surgery you want, and now you're like, well, now I can get the fuck out of here. Like we're not looking great either. So like now I can go on the market and eventually get what I want to do.
Right.
So they kind of like forced his hand in that sense, but it is beneficial to him too. One little note on the game that I thought was awesome to see too. Alex Tuck and Peyton Krebs both scored in the 3-1 win, and both players were included in the Eichel trade. So
wow,
pretty interesting to see. Yeah. So Eichel did nothing in the sense of like getting on the game sheet, but both the guys on the other end of the trade did.
He was up there in time on ice though. I think it was like 17 minutes 50 seconds.
Ooh, no, I'm just kidding.
He had like 2 shots on net. But I don't know. You literally just got back. You know, it's gonna take a little while. Hold on. Add to that. 1, he just got back from surgery. 2, to a brand new team, by the way. And 3, we're gonna talk about Seattle Kraken. We're just figuring things out. You know.
Yeah, he's not doing that bad though. He's 12 games
time.
played. He's got 8 points, 4 goals, 4 assists. So he's still
give him some time.
Fitting in pretty nice. He's got to learn his line mates and shit too.
But,
so
yeah, I'm glad he got what he needed.
Yeah, me too, man. For real.
I don't know. It is what it is. I'm sure Eichel has been there for so long, 7 years. I'm sure there's be some hate, you know. I don't know. It is what it is.
It kind of reminds me of the John Tavares situation when he left Long Island and he says like I want to be here and then just leaves. You know
just leaves. Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know.
we don't have to get into it.
We don't have to get into it. But we'll get into another player here too. Florida's Jonathan Huberdeau this season has. Hold on, I want to go back to that. Jonathan Hooby-Dooby-Doo. I love that. Do you hate it?
I'm glad that you went back to that because I fucking hate that. I was like, thank God he didn't do it. And then you're like, wait, I'm going to do it.
I only do things you hate. This season has 63.
No, I love you.
This season, he has 63 assists so far, which is the most in one season in franchise history. Next to him in second is Alexander Barkov with 317. Huberdeau is actually leading team franchise records in multiple categories. He leads the franchise in points with 580, even strength goals with 142. He has a plus-minus of 55.7, goals created with 207, and is third in franchise history with 186 goals. 2 goals below Ollie Jolly Jokinen is what I wanted to say, with 188, and Barkov leads it with 207 goals. He's currently making $5.9 million a year and will be a UFA at the end of next season. To add more to this, Sam Reinhart leads the league in points with 57. The season has been his best season in the NHL since he left the Sabres in 2014 when he entered the league.
Sam Reinhart's huge. That's
Sam
awesome.
Reinhart is massive. And the more you look into the players, the roster for the Florida Panthers, you're like, oh, okay, this is how they become number 1 in the league, you know?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Holy
for sure.
shit.
58 games in already this season. He's played every single one. 24 games left in the season. He actually did get another assist, so he's got 64 assists now.
Nice.
Definitely an assist guy looking at his stats, 18 and 64, 20-41, 23-55. So he's putting in about a third as many goals as he is assists, but that's still huge. I mean, if you think about it, when it comes to assists, for every 1 goal, there can be 2 assists. So but it's just the point production is unreal. 64 assists in one season is massive.
I can't believe how many, like, that. There was like stats on there that he's like number 1 in that like I don't really understand, but he's like up there, and it's kind of insane to see because like you get to see like the other like 9 players that are on that list, and you're like, damn, he's beating like top brass guys, you know? Like,
yeah, and he's matched up against them too, so he's on the ice against the top players in the league too,
right.
You know.
So holy shit, be on the lookout for Florida Panthers. I was a huge Florida Panthers earlier in the podcast when they were in the playoffs. I wanted the Florida Panthers to just keep going, and we might get that this season. You think? Yeah,
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just they're getting more out of guys that they shouldn't. Like Sam Reinhart's on a line with Marchment and Lustarin, and I've never even heard of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Mammon on the top line, and then Bennett, Huberdeau, and Duclair. Like, it's just like it's asinine. It's like, where is this coming from? Like, they're just such a well coached and like great team. Honestly, it's nuts.
It's crazy to see.
All right. Well, moving right along, I got quick little snippet here too. I like the little fun stuff to mix them in here. So New York Islanders game, someone posted a screenshot of it looked like the Game Time app where you could buy tickets. $3 nosebleed seats for sale, which is insane. I've never seen a ticket that low.
No.
Guarantee you that after the fees and everything, it's like $33. But
yeah, probably.
The fees suck, man. The fees are just like a scam. Just an easy way to get our money for free. $3 is insane, and a hot dog at Madison Square Garden for the New York Rangers is $13. So you can go to 4 Rangers, you can go to 4 Islanders games, or you can have a hot dog at Madison Square Garden. Take your pick.
Your choice.
I know which one I'm choosing.
$3.
I'm kind of hungry.
$3 for nosebleeds is insane. When the Bruins were absolute trash back in 2006, 2007, they're one of the worst teams in the league. I used to go to the games all the time because they had $10 nosebleeds, and you'd go up there, sit there for 5 minutes, and look. I used to get glass seats all the time. I used to look to see who's didn't take their seat, and then I would just go back down. And then I remember the game they lost to Toronto, fucking 10-2, and I'm like, all right,
here we go. That's why.
This is why. This is why I'm gonna get glass seats.
One little note I had too, which was funny. The $3 nosebleeds. It's just
That's insane.
I can't. I don't have another note. I can't get past that.
How shit-faced would you be with one of those games?
Makes you think about Buffalo though. If they have a 45% sellout fee, how cheap those tickets must get down to.
Jesus.
Nuts.
How cheap are those Arizona Coyotes tickets going to be next season?
They're going to be expensive if you think about it, because they're going from a stadium that seats 18,000 and cutting that less than a third to 5,000.
Yeah, right.
So I think they're going to be up, and I think visiting fans are hopefully going to flood the arena in the sense that I can go to Arizona, have the most personal experience with this game. You know what I mean? And be very close to the glass in the sense of there's not a bad seat in the house, hopefully. Yeah. I don't know what the arena really looks like. Yeah. And maybe even bump into the players because there's a third less people, things like that, It'd be kind of cool to fly out for an Arizona game.
That might bring in fans just to see that, in general.
And I mean, maybe you jack up the ticket prices because of it, make some more money when you can. We did have an interesting Andrew Raycroft tweet that I wanted to ask your opinion on. So he tweets out this week, Andrew Hammond and Thomas Nosek got tribute videos this week in the NHL. Enough is enough. What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
I love what you said last week or the week before when we talked about Andrew Raycroft, where he just says shit just for people to talk about.
No, that's Sean Avery, but it seems like Raycroft's getting on board too.
Raycroft's getting on board.
He's doing the same shit, yeah.
Yep. And I think we're seeing that now, and I'm just like, all right, Raycroft, calm down.
Do you agree or you don't agree?
With Waycroft and him being mad?
In the sense that, we're giving tribute videos for players that don't deserve them.
Yeah and no. I always thought tribute videos were just, for special players. Marc-Andre Fleury had a nice tribute video when he came.
That's
first
huge.
Game.
That's, the biggest return.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
So,
that's what he's mad about is the guys that shouldn't be getting them.
Right. So he's not talking about statistically. He's just talking about just random players getting.
Yeah, he's saying tribute videos should be for the Marc-Andre Fleury's, but to give one to a Thomas Nosek, what the fuck?
I thought you were talking about statistically. Yeah, I guess I am on board with Andrew Raycroft because, yeah, I mean it just a tribute video just adds to a player say Bergeron, who's been with the team for how long?
But that's yeah, you're getting it, but you're not. This is a Noel Acciari coming back to Boston for the first time, where he's been with the team for 4 or 5 seasons. He was in the lineup. He wasn't great, but now he's in Florida, and his first game back to Boston, we do a tribute video.
Tribute video, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what he's looking at. The guys that's do we
right,
really need to do this?
Down,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. And the best reply to me, though, what someone fucking commented was who the fuck is Andrew Raycroft? That's so good. So good. Because all these accounts, they want interaction with fans. It's great. They put up an Instagram, and they'll put up a post like this and just put the caption as thoughts with a question mark so that it's an open floor. And they do get fan interaction because of it, so everyone can voice their opinion and stuff. Yeah. But, I was like, that's fucking gold just to dust him like that. What do you guys think about this guy's opinion? Who?
Who's this guy? I mean, we were saying that to Sean Avery, too. Who are you?
Yeah, no shit. But
another guy has been kind of quiet on social media ever since.
Yeah, I think he made up some stuff that he was like missing the family and ended up wanting to go back to New York and be with his daughter and stuff, which is fine. But it's like, dude, this is a big PR stunt and everyone knows it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And
100%.
he's still calling out like George Larocque and I think it's Matt Barnaby and saying like they're way out of shape
that's
and
right.
shit.
Yep.
He's still like, I'll still fucking wipe the floor with you.
Can't stand him at all.
Fucking hilarious. Polarizing figure. But moving right along, Washington's Alexander Ovechkin is actually forced to use a new stick after the CCM announcement of not using Russian players in their ads. And it's the first time he's made a switch in 3 seasons. So he had to play with a completely new stick, and he hasn't used anything other than CCM in that long. Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
I feel like for a pro, it would kind of mess with me a little bit in the sense that, like, this is what I'm used to, and now I have to completely learn a new stick, like at the drop of a hat. You know, like
100%.
the second that they say it, I'm done.
That's like how we talked about Dustin Tokarski, where just like he only uses like wood sticks, and they fucking like won't. They like companies just won't make it for him. Yeah. He goes like, nope, this is what I use, and that's like forcing Dustin Tokarski to use a composite or something. You know?
Yeah. Yep. 100%. But it did not stop Alex Ovechkin from scoring a goal again. So what else is new? We actually saw like 2 minutes ago he was going to score a goal to take third in points. We weren't going to talk about it, but hilarious. The puck is like, it goes off the post and it's like heading in. It's going to go in if no one touches it. And it's like on the goal line. And I think it's Kuznetsov like lays out and taps it like the littlest bit and steals it from him so he didn't get his fucking third all time.
The announcers didn't know, so they're all celebrating that. Like, oh, he just passed Yard. I'm like, nope.
So funny. It's kind of messed up that he laid out and did that. But to be fair, the defenseman was right there. Like, he could have cleared the puck out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
A little funny thing, too. Did you see Columbus Blue Jackets' Elvis Merzlikins jumping over his own player?
Oh, you're talking about the versus the Bruins?
Yeah. The player comes sliding in on he's basically playing defense on Marchand and gets tripped up. And he goes, like, into the crease, goes under him, and Merzlikins has, like, a 4-foot vertical. Like, it almost looks like his pads are, like, butterflied on top of the net from one angle, and then he comes back down. Like, we saw it a few years ago with another goalie, but I'm like, dude, that's wild. That's very athletic.
Very athletic. Actually, after I saw that, I went back to see the videos where I originally found Elvis Merzlikins, and it was like the 10D YouTube channel that I found him in, and the training they do for those Euro goalies, the Finnish, the Swedish, the Russian goalies, it's just insane. Like they're rolling around on the ice. They're doing what Elvis did, by the way. They're jumping up and down and just crazy shit. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. And then you got to see it like in action with Elvis jumping over.
That's such a risky move, though. Like, if that player ends up clipping, like, even the tiniest bit of his skate, he's coming straight down onto, like, you know, his chest, his arms, his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of bold. Like, you could always, like, I don't know, like, kind of, like, drop and brace it a little bit or, like, get out a little bit.
I think it's different with the NHL guys where just, like, there's 3 guys that are, like, 250 pounds just, like, coming in on me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and how fast they're moving, you know? Yeah.
It's just probably a split.
Yeah, split second. This is the best thing I can do right now, for sure.
Just like Alex Nedeljkovic. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Throwing it in his own net.
Yeah, that was messed up.
That was fucked.
Edmonton, the Oilers' helmets have a Ukrainian national flag sticker on them for the game against the Capitals. Edmonton has a huge population of Ukrainian citizens there. So I thought it was pretty interesting to see. They gave a pretty unwelcome, they wrote, what did I say? Unwelcome. Welcome? That's not what I said,
Something
but
like that.
something like that. I'm fucking it up.
Yep.
To Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals, who have 4 Russian players. So I thought it was just kind of interesting to see. Very night and day compared to what the Capitals are now used to in their home arena, where there are no Ukrainian or Russian flags and signs allowed, and very warm embrace for Ukrainian humanitarian efforts in Edmonton. So they're even still doing the Ukrainian national anthems and everything. So
that's cool.
Just thought it was kind of interesting. I noticed the one sticker on Hyman's hat, and I was like, I wonder if it's just him. And it was a bunch of, I think it might have been the whole team, but definitely at least 2 or 3 players. So.
Another high Ukrainian Canadian shit. They don't call it state up there. What do they call it?
Province, right?
Province,
Yeah.
Yep. That was Winnipeg that was high Ukrainian population, and now we're seeing Edmonton has it too. So it's cool that they're coming out all in support of it too.
Yeah, 100%. So thought it was interesting. So we're going to move on to, outside of the NHL news. One quick little snippet I have here. The Premier Hockey Federation, Willie O'Ree, has joined the ownership group of the Boston Pride.
That was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome to see. A big move for him after he's been in the headlines for, I feel like, 2 years now with a COVID delay of his jersey going to the rafters, and now he finally got his number retired about a month ago, and staying in the headlines. But it should be great for the game to grow.
100%.
You got some notes on the Czech League for Jagr's Prague game?
Oh yeah, Jaromir Jagr, our boy here.
Yeah.
Lad.
Yeah, I wish he played. Well, he did play for Boston. He played for like 18 different teams. He was only here for a little bit, but like, think about the Boston accent. Jaromir Jagr. Now spell that, right? Jaromir Jagr. Yamir Yaga. Jaromir Jagr.
And just like in Boston fashion too, just like one of the best plays this game has seen. Like almost instantly when Jagr played for the Boston Bruins, there were shirts out for Jager bombs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Remember that?
That's great. Yep.
I'm like, you guys are all alcoholics. And by you guys, I mean all of us.
By you guys, I mean we guys.
I am in on that. So Jaromir Jagr announced that he's moving his Kladno's team season finale from a 5,000-seat venue to an 18,000-seat venue at Prague's O2 Arena to help raise money for Ukraine refugees in the Czech Republic. All ticket purchases will go toward Ukraine. He's so far received $68,000 in donations towards his fundraising game in Prague, which is awesome to see. I think that's actually gone up since today.
Yeah, so that 68,000 number isn't the total number. That was directly from the NHL and Gary Bettman.
Okay.
They donated that amount in honor of his number 68.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was just an on-top donation for, on top of the ticket sales and anything else that they make. So I thought that was awesome for the NHL to jump in and support him.
Another leg move by Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Gotta love him. How do you hate him?
Yeah. I don't really know anyone that does,
No.
My name's Jaromir Jagr, and my favorite player is Jaromir Jagr. Right? Even Jaromir loves Jaromir.
How do you hate him?
Do you have notes on the OHL Flint Firebirds? The president of hockey ops was actually expelled from the league.
So there's no. Actually, if you want to keep talking, I have his name here too. Oh no, I had his name. I didn't write it down though. I'm stupid.
No, that's fine.
No, sorry. His name's Terry Christensen. He was removed because he violated the league's harassment and abuse and diversity policy. They didn't really have much information on what he did. All I know is they said it was a racial remark toward a player, and
Jesus.
Yeah.
See you, bud.
So
that's fucked up.
This story just happened yesterday, 2 days ago. So probably by next recording, we might have some more information on what the Flint Firebirds move is from now on. That's a big move too. President of hockey operations, and it's not like the NHL were just like, dude, there's just guys like jumping in for that role. It's just like I don't know what you would do in that situation.
Yeah, that is interesting, but fuck that guy if that's the case, if that's true, So yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
The Minnesota High School Hockey State Tournament is kicking off, and the My Chemical Flomance is in full effect. We had some weirdo-looking dude looking like Ben Franklin with the skullet, dude. He had, like, all of here shaved and then, like, just wicked flow down the back, like, not even lined up nice. I don't know. It's odd to me. Like, I like the guys that have, like, nice hair and do something nice with it, but the guys that show up with, like, just, like, fuck me up, fam haircut, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
You're just stuck like that. You know that, right?
Yeah,
like,
right. Well, it will grow back, we hope.
Yeah.
But, Alex Bump's a player that's in this tournament. He had a 4-goal game to send his team to the tournament finals held at the XL Energy Center, where 18,000 plus fans will attend, and people actually scalp tickets for this event. Imagine like playing in a high school tournament where people are scalping tickets. It's nuts.
It's insane.
It's awesome, man. It's so cool to see. People go wild. There's like players standing on the boards, like reaching over the glass, celebrating when they score. Like, it's awesome, dude. It's so cool to see.
Minnesota's huge. There's this team from Minnesota that has a YouTube channel, and I can't remember its name for the life of me, but I was watching a video of them talking to a player from Minnesota, and they were asking, like, what it's like to grow up in Minnesota, and just, like, I don't know, the norm for every kid, like, literally every kid in Minnesota is, like, go to school, go to hockey practice, do homework, go to bed. It's just, that's all they do.
Yeah.
So it's just so big there. Like,
it's probably go to hockey practice, go to school, go to hockey practice, like 2 a days.
Yeah.
Kind of like football, Nuts.
Ugh.
and it's so cold out there. Like you can play all the time because it's -30. The ponds are frozen. You know,
they're just so used to it.
Brutal. But yeah, I think that's so fun to watch. It's great for the kids.
Cool shit. High school event.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, it's one of those events where I think it happens a lot. I think especially more so this year, post. I don't know if I say post-COVID. But
It's going to be huge. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be massive. Yep.
That's awesome. I didn't think of that.
Yep.
Little side note for college hockey, too. Omaha versus North Dakota. This was kind of wild. Like, really unexpected out of the blue. Every account was posting videos of it. A fan throws a fish on the ice during a game, and a mini Zamboni comes out, which, like, it's almost like me sitting in this office chair, but, like, put a Zamboni around me. That's how small this thing is. It comes out with an Omaha college flag and a fish net, and the Zamboni driver comes in, does a 180, scoops up the fish, and does a sick wheelie on the way out. It was like the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what is this? I need one.
Those are cool as shit. Speaking of fish, though, off topic, well, same on topic with this. We finally got our answer to Pecorine, by the way, this week.
Yeah, he almost beaned some reporter or like.
It was a fish, right?
Yeah.
He threw a fish and almost beaned someone in the like.
It was probably a catfish, I would think.
Someone like right in the head.
Yeah. She ducked and it like barely missed. He's like, "Oh, my bad."
Because the original photo or video you sent was him throwing the fish and then him freaking out, and we're like,
yeah, you didn't see the other angle.
You didn't see the other angle, yeah.
My buddy has a cooler that he brought to the games when I was playing men's league regularly, and it was like a Zamboni.
Yeah, dude.
You've seen those? They're hilarious.
Those are awesome.
There's like decked out ones that have like a speaker and all this other shit too. I thought it was funny.
All right, man. These are all you.
Yeah, we're going to bounce around to some random ass news. I'm going to start with the PLL first, Premier Lacrosse League. Schedule's been announced this year. The All-Star Game is going to be held in Boston, as well as the first round of playoffs. So if anyone around here is interested in that. There's also, if anyone likes rugby, this team called the Free Jacks. They used to be down in Abington on Route 18. With the Boston Cannons moving to the PLL, that left Veteran Memorial Stadium open for a new home team. So that Free Jacks rugby team is going to be playing there now, and that's in Quincy. And it's kind of nuts because the city of Quincy paid so much money for that contract with the Cannons, and then they got bounced, and the MLL folded, and then they moved to the PLL. So at least they're finding something to do with it, and hopefully the Free Jacks can kick it off. There's actually a IPA from Baxter that is in honor of the rugby team too, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
See if I can snag a can of that, but. That's that one. We have in the NFL, this is some crazy news, too. I want your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, has been caught betting on games. Definitely a terrible look for the league, and it'll be cracked down on. I think across all of the major sports leagues, they're going to be looking into it a lot. Word right now is that he's been laying parlays across a ton of games in the NFL. So for those of you that don't really gamble on sports, a parlay is you pick like 6 or 7 different things to happen across different games. It can be this team wins, this team puts up X amount of points, the over, the under, and you pick like 5 or 6 different bets. If all of them hit, you get a massive payout. So this guy makes millions, and like part of the give up, I mean, you get so many benefits for being a professional athlete, obviously. Part of the things that you give up, the number one thing is gambling. Like when it comes to betting on your own league, your own games, I think you're probably okay to bet on other sports leagues, but at the same time, probably not, because if you have connections, like, oh, you know what I mean? My buddy, you know, on the, I don't know, the Nashville Predators, like I'll text him like, hey, put up a pizza tonight up the middle, make sure they get a fucking extra goal or some shit, you know.
Right.
Don't score that empty netter. I need it to be under 5.5 kind of thing. So maybe they're completely banned, but definitely in your own league, not allowed. And what do you think this is going to mean for, you know, the other leagues?
I don't know. You said this, and then the first thing I thought of was Evander Kane. Like, it's like, has he done it?
He hasn't. I mean, they did like a huge investigation into it, which is good.
Think he doesn't have it?
No, I mean he's gambling, but there's no signs that he's betting on sports, at least.
Right. It shouldn't happen.
I showed you a compilation that someone made too. There's no way this guy wasn't in deep with Vegas. He's like got a free break to the end zone and ends up like cutting left and just like getting caught by defenders. It's like weird clips, man. But like shit happens. Like maybe it's not the case. You know, maybe it's
right.
Not correlated, but I was like, this is fucking weird to see.
I would like to know how much money he made off of it.
Yeah. I mean, most gamblers are in the hole for like way too much. Like
yeah.
Once you start, like if you hit big, you're maybe back to square one at best, you know. But
I don't know. It's hard to have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People have gambling problems, and
Yeah.
if you have a gambling problem and you're in, and you're in like professional sports where you're making millions and millions of dollars, that you can just keep betting, and you're just like, I can win money if I do this. You know, I don't know.
You could bet on yourself almost. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of interesting, and be like,
Right.
yeah, I am gonna get 200 yards this game.
Right.
But it almost translates over to the stock market where you could have insider information because I work for this company, so I'm not allowed to buy my own stock because I know that like we're doing this in the next quarter and that's what's going to boost our stock. This guy will know the game plan going in advance. If I'm going to be starting and I'm going to be getting X amount of yards or X amount of looks, like I can make this bet happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just weird, just interesting to see and something to think about, you know?
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah. Last thing I have here is a little more Russia news, kind of. Chelsea FC in the Premier League in the UK. Their owner is actually a Russian oligarch, is what they're calling them. That's kind of like a monopoly man, but an oligarchy man instead. He's basically just a billionaire, and he owns Chelsea FC, which is a UK team. They've had to put sanctions on him because of all of the political stuff that's going on. It's been very interesting to see how much it has affected the league and the fan base and the players because of him just being a Russian billionaire.
Yeah.
So the sanctions, I looked into them a little bit. I don't have all of the details, but include that he's not allowed to attend the games. Season ticket holders are allowed to go to the games, but they aren't allowed to sell any more merchandise right now. They can't sell more tickets to the game, so only season ticket holders can go.
Damn.
Other fans can't go. He gets no portion of any other kind of sales from the league right now. There was a ton of other stuff, but I was like, dude, they are like whacking this guy big time, and it's all just to impact a Russian economy. You know, it was very interesting to see. So, yeah. The club is allowed to continue playing its matches, but they have to undertake, quote, reasonable travel costs up to a maximum of $20,000. So the entire soccer team, which is probably consistent of 50 guys or probably like 40 guys on the team, and then plus their equipment managers, blah, blah, blah. So let's call it like 80 guys to be fair. All 80 of those guys have to travel on planes or however and spend only $20,000, where they're used to taking a private jet, going wherever they want. They'll probably be flying fucking economy. You know what I mean? But it's just only season ticket holders are allowed to go, which is wild to me.
Wow.
They're not allowed to transfer or loan players. Broadcast and prize money has been frozen. They can't sign any new contracts with new players. They can't move any players. They can't do anything. Like, it's just wild, man. Some staff were laid off. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts, dude.
Dude, it's just insane how quick everything with this whole Ukraine-Russia thing.
Yeah.
It's just
The SWIFT program got shut down. That's like their banking system in Russia. Discord and Spotify, I think Netflix all cut their services.
McDonald's.
I would be
they're
miserable
out.
if I was a Russian, dude. I'd be like, what am I doing? Like, a cup of coffee costs a month's salary. And
There's a video I saw of a Russian mall, and their money's called rubles. And I thought I saw something that was like $2 American is the equivalent of like over 1 million rubles now. Like, that's how shit their money is.
Yeah.
And someone was on like the second floor of the mall just tossing money just to show like how pointless it is now.
Yeah, it's wild
It's
to
like
think
it's
about,
insane how quick like the economy just crushed.
He's going to regret that once this is like all said and done and the economy goes back to normal. He's like, fuck, there go to all my money.
Yep. That's what we were saying. Like, I was in the comment section, like, I wouldn't do that, you know? Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least hold on to it, maybe. Like, put it under your mattress for a bit.
I was thinking as an American, just like, since it's like worth so little now, just like buy as much rubles as you can. So when it goes back, just turn it all in.
Yeah, my brain is the hamster's running on the wheel right now trying to figure that out. Because like if you were to buy 100 million rubles for
$2 for like
for
a
$2,
million,
and then it goes back up. Now I have 100 million
I
rubles.
have 100 million rubles, and now you can transfer it to American currency.
Yeah, but then the U.S. tells you you're deported because you're supporting the Russian economy for buying 100 million rubles. You only spend $2. You're like, fuck.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Can you even get Russian rubles now?
I bet you
think
could.
that-
Yeah, I
think
bet
the
you could.
currency
I
stopped
mean, you could
that?
just go to the Russian mall and pick one up, right?
Hey, I'm here to buy $1 million. Here you go. Just take it.
That's how the bank works now. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Play money. Right?
I can bet
That's
on
it.
myself. I can bet on this podcast.
Yeah, so happy St. Patrick's Day to all the listeners. This is going to be dropping for you guys on Monday. St. Patrick's Day is Thursday. Don't forget. It's going to be all weekend long for me because I'm an animal. Yeah, let's trade deadline we'll probably cover next week, so that'll be cool. There'll be a lot of moves around the league. We'll see Grubauer on the Bruins and DeBrusk on the and Allmark on the Kraken probably. So that's my insider knowledge right there.
That'd be funny if you called that. You've called a few things.
That one's like out of my ass, dude. But like that would be wild if I called like exactly the trade, like Grubauer and Giordano, Allmark, DeBrusk, and picks to make it even. That would be wild. I doubt it. I think that they like Allmark and Swayman as their 1 and 2, but personally, I'd rather see them get something else.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I think the Allmark sign had a lot to do with Tuukka Rask coming back, and now he's done. So maybe they will go in a different direction. Maybe they won't.
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe the points are made up and the rules don't matter. You watch Whose Line Is It Anyways? It's a good show. Drew Carey, you know what I'm talking about? Welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyways, where the points are made up and the rules don't matter.
It's funny that you brought up Drew Carey. I go to the gym in the morning, and on the TVs they have like those like mid-morning shows. So you're just like, who the hell watches this?
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. They had
Maury.
it's like a game show, and Drew Carey now like hosted.
Yeah, I forget which one he does, but yeah, it's one of the big ones, like
He
Wheel
looks-
of Fortune, Family Feud. He looks good, right?
He looks so different.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
He's got like this like gray beard going. Like,
Yeah,
red
yeah.
hairdo. I'm like, who the hell's that guy? And find out Drew Carey. But it's just so funny seeing like the people in that show. I'm just like, you watch this? Like, you have to be a fan to be on that show. Just like,
Yeah.
what do you do all day? Do you work?
Dude, I fucking love Steve Harvey, too, because he's on Family Feud. He's so funny. I love him.
I love the clips of him.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it before, too. I love Snoop Dogg and Shaq quite a bit, but those guys whore themselves out, dude. They're on everything. Corona.
Steve Harvey's just hanging out. you
Yeah.
know?
He's just bulling, dude. That guy's the man.
I wonder how much he's making.
He's probably making great money. Family Feud
I'm
pays
going to deep dive.
pretty fucking well. Net worth. Check out the net worth, dude.
Oof.
All right, next week, Steve Harvey, Shaq, Snoop Dogg, all three of them. I want to see their net worths.
All three of them.
Making a mental note.
Yep. So that we can cry on the
We're doing a deep dive on Steve Harvey and Snoop Dogg. Welcome to the Post-to-Post podcast, folks. What do we got?
I don't want to talk about it. All right,
I
let's
have
talk
Soko Caramel.
All right. So, last week, it was just me, by the way.
Yeah. I actually, for the listeners too, I'm going to jump in. 20 minutes after we finished recording, I went upstairs and uked. Like miserable. My Saturday was ruined. I just slept all day. But I was so glad that it was one and done, and I was like set. I was miserable.
You were loud as hell, by the way. It's like
I'm like Steve-O from Jackass,
there
the
was
way
like
he pukes.
Satan like coming out of your body.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I'm a loud puker.
You're allowed to go. But last week, I did 4 Loco pregame lemonade. And this week, I was going through to see what you had, and I found out that you have the last one, which is 4 Loco pregame sour peach. And I am not a sour guy whatsoever.
It's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's more. I guess it is sour, but it's not like gonna make you pucker like a warhead.
Oh, okay.
But it's like the sour flavor.
Got
Once you finish that one, let me know because I have a store that sells the sour blue Raz, and I think that's the best of the 3, and I'll grab you one of those so you can have that too. I give you a 4 Loco guy. Cool 4 Loco guy. I'm gonna grab you a 4 Loco too to drink on the show one week. We should do a 4 Loco night.
I've never
Making it happen.
I've never done a 4 Loco.
They don't have the caffeine in it anymore, so you won't die.
Oh, that's good.
You'll die tomorrow when you're hungover, but you won't die like
I don't get
doing
hungover.
it. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing in the world to me.
I could get shit faced right now, wake up in 6 hours, and go to the gym.
It's disgusting.
Whew.
All right, Soko Caramel.
All right, pregame sour peach.
Let's do it. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Feels good to be back. My Iron Man streak is snapped.
Ugh. So the craziest thing about these is,
Dude, that's not a shot. You need more of that. Thank you. That's good.
oh man, alive. So
Craziest thing about those?
what?
You were gonna say something. The craziest thing about those?
It's like You know when you take a shot or just drink or just eat anything and like there's just one flavor to it? This hits you in like 3 different ways. Like this one hit where just like, oh, I taste the peach, not that bad. And then like the sour hits, and then the alcohol hits, and then all of a sudden just like it all mixes. Like it's a fucking adventure when you hit this. And I'm like, I don't want to do this again.
You should be a salesman. You drop that last line, you should be a salesman. It's a fucking adventure.
It's an
adventure. In
adventure.
a half pint.
Now there we go. Four Loko, it is an adventure. Non-paid promo.
Only free ads on this show.
Yeah, only free ads. Don't do it. Just unless Four Loko pays me. But don't do it. Oh, fuck me. No. You want to call us out?
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Bye, guys.